Okay, okay, Poggers. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm so excited. What's up? I'm Realm. This is TimeSplitters 2. Yeah. I just want to say quickly before I start, I'm gonna like start setting up as I say something. This is not what I was going for. Where's the thing? Is it here? There we go. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's like tuned in over the past like few days, because I've been hosting like a lot and dealing with my annoying ass for like 16 hours over the past few days is like something that I never would have expected. Also, one thing I just want to draw everyone's attention to real quick. I have a really bad cold. I managed to get away with it by tactically muting my mic during my hosting shifts. That's probably not going to be possible for this run. So if you hear me like sniffing or coughing or anything like that, I'm really sorry. But that's just something that we're going to have to work together about. Okay, setup is completely finished now, so I'm pretty much ready to go whenever. So I'm going to give a quick 5-second countdown here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Make sure I wear a mask. Yeah, I don't want to give COVID to people in chat. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is TimeSplitters 2. It's a game that SS4C has had 6 times prior. This is its 7th appearance. I wish I could say why they keep accepting it, but honestly I don't know. I literally make my submissions as bad as I possibly can on purpose to try and make them stop accepting it, but they keep taking it, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll play, I guess. But I actually practiced really hard for this one because I was like well out of whack. I bought like 2 new controllers and like the first one didn't work at all, so I had to buy another one, and like that was its own hardship. And my new controller came on like Friday and I was really worried I wouldn't get it. So anyway, this is Siberia. We have to like shoot some people, starting with that guy because he drops a gun which makes it easier to shoot people with. And then there's a dish on top of this building here that I have to blow up, and a camera here, you'll hear, it's going to spot me. The alarm goes off, and then that causes the door to that dam over in the right to open. I'm going to kill this guy, and he's going to get out of my way. And then we're going to go into the dam, and we're going to try and go up the stairs as quickly as possible and not go slowly. So, yeah, you want to turn in like slightly before the actual corner. You want to shoot that guy, and then I'm going to switch to my fists and punch that guy because it is way faster. Because basically when an enemy doesn't know that you're behind them and you punch them, it's basically like a stealth takedown, I suppose, and they just die in one shot. Kill that guy, and then I'm going to switch to my fists. And I'm going to punch that because it's just easier than like walking around it. And then we pick up the Soviet S47, which is like a machine gun type weapon, I suppose. And then I want to go down the stairs in much the same way that we went up the stairs. So now we're leaving the dam, and we're gonna go into the like the building where the boss is. It's a really hard boss, so hopefully I can first try it. And then when I get to the like the boss arena, that is gonna be when I collect that time crystal where they just said time crystal located. Basically, the plot of this game, there's 9 time crystals. You have to go back in time or forward in time to collect all of them to like save time or something. And then you have to like escape from the space station where you're like keeping all the time crystals. Here I'm throwing a bunch of mines on the floor because it prevents enemies from like chasing you down this corridor because you have to run back up it in 2 seconds time. Here's the boss. I'm going to throw 3 mines on it. Okay, I think I got away with that. Yeah, really hard boss, as you can see. It even like doesn't fight back or anything. And then that's the end of Siberia. So it's like fairly straightforward, but you know, everything is hit or miss when you're doing a marathon run. Even a boss like that can go badly. Sometimes I have to throw 4 mines there, and there's just like a whole calamity, and I'm like, this is not what I wanted to happen. Now we're into Chicago. This is set further in the past than Siberia was. I don't really know what the plot is here. You like get thrown out of a nightclub, so you want to go back and kill everyone that works in the nightclub. That's kind of slow because I fell off there. I took a nice damage boost from that guy. If you shoot him, he's like guaranteed to damage boost you, and it's like really fast. Then there's a guy here I'm going to do that stealth takedown on. And then I need to answer the phone. Oh yeah, that's another big part of this level. To get into the nightclub you got thrown out of, you need like a key card pass type thing. I don't really know like how it works. But this guy just has one in his house, but for some reason, because he has that, people are trying to kill him. So I have to like make sure that doesn't happen. And if he gets shot once, then he'll like stand still for like 15 seconds, and it's so slow. It's genuinely the most boring thing in the world. So I'm gonna try and make sure that doesn't happen. Alright, so there's one more guy I have to worry about immediately, and he should be around here. Okay. So now, one thing I like to do here is I like to play with this pool table while I'm waiting, because there's no more enemies to worry about immediately. I don't have my timer up, so I'm not going to know whether I've taken too long to play pool, so I'm just going to try and finish this as quickly as possible. Okay, that was fairly fast. I missed one shot, but it's fine. It's a marathon run. I don't need to be perfect. Then behind this newsstand is going to be the final enemy that's chasing down Marco, your informant. Now, here's a cool strat. So, he opens his door slightly before he actually walks immediately up to the door, and it's enough room that you can stand in between him. And then if you shoot him there, you can also walk out without getting stuck, like, in the doorway. I just shot that civilian in the head because he was in the way. It saves time. Imagine if real life was like that. So here we are. We're coming up on the nightclub. Time crystal's been located. It's actually on the boss here. This one actually fights back unlike the other one. So that's something. Just gonna fight my way through here. And then here's Big Tony. He didn't actually fight back this time. I lied. Okay, and then that's Chicago. That was a really bad Tony fight. I missed like 10 bullets. So next up we've got Notre Dame. This level is like really easy casually, but then it's like really hard in a speedrun. Because the route diverges from casual play significantly after this. Like, you may have thought the Marco strat I did last level was cool, but you have seen nothing compared to what this level is like. So these zombies, if you don't headshot them, which kills them in one shot, they take like 5 shots to the body to die, so it's really slow and you basically just want to shoot them in the head. That one did a rare animation, and that's really annoying, where it like stumbles, so its head like ducked below where I was anticipating it would be. So that like kinda sucks, but it'll be okay. There's a zombie at the top of the stairs. If you shoot him once, he gets knocked back. Even if you don't immediately kill him, he still gets knocked back to the point you can just slip straight past him. Now here, you're going to be like, what are you doing? I'm catching fire, because you can just walk straight through there. And then I'm going to finish basically the rest of the level in fire. It means you can't walk up and free them normally by pressing X to interact with the shackles. You actually have to shoot them like that. That's way harder than it looks, and I actually just made it look silly, because I'm a god gamer. I failed that 3 times out of the 4 practice attempts of this level I did, so yeah, that was quite lucky. And now we have to go free the final maiden, who for whatever reason, the dude here has just decided he was going to tie her up and like dangle her from the ceiling, which just seems like a bit extra. Like, why couldn't he have just put her in handcuffs like the other two? I don't really understand, but these guys always block you on the stairs because you do like some really extra movement on the stairs, and they always get in your way because you're never on the right cycle to the point you can just shoot them on the way down. This room sucks. You have to like kill these guys while being really far away from them, and I just can't like aim like at all.
Do we have time for a donation, actually?
Yeah, fucking go for it, man.
Okay, I'm super happy to announce this. Some of you guys may not believe it, but we just hit $1,700.
We what now? Okay.
Yeah, we hit $1,700. with a $32 donation from Nala and Simba with no comment. So, thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. Nala and Simba is my girlfriend, for anyone that was curious. So, thank you so much. That's awesome. So that boss is really easy. The head hitbox is like the size of an entire planet. Yeah, he just dies really quickly. There's like some dudes out here that you have to kill. They're also really easy. And then there's another boss. It's the only level with 2 bosses, but this one takes like 3 shots. Literally. Cool. That was Notre Dame. Alright, so next up is Planet X. It's called Return to Planet X because there is also a Planet X in TimeSplitters 1. It looks nothing like this one, but it's like, for whatever reason, they just decided, yeah, it's an alien planet, so we'll just say it's the same place, even if it's like a completely different color palette and like, I don't know. Nothing about this reminds me of the one from TS1. So, Mike, you can play this on any 6th gen console. So you can play it on GameCube, you can play it on PS2, or you can play it on Xbox. Or you can do something naughty, which I'm not allowed to promote. So this section is like really easy. It's the same cycle like every single time. So you just have to know who you're shooting and when you're shooting them. What happens here is you're going to kill 2 people in the middle, then 1 person on the left, and then 1 person on the right, and then you're going to find out where this dude is and kill him. Nope. And then it's the 2 in the middle again, then the 1 on the right, and then the 1 on the left. I was meant to kill the grey looking one earlier, so that's why he was there. And then it's again 2 middle, 1 right, 1 left, and it's as simple as that. And then this laser wall here will open. And then bees. As we all know, the B in LGBTQ stands for bees, so thank you for that insight, NES. And then you just have to kill 8 people on this beach. And it's like really easy, but I make so many mistakes when I do it, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I say people, these are called Mesor-Mox. They're one of 2 alien species that exist on Planet X, along with the Ozor-Mox, who are the grey ones. I think I've got that the right way around. And they're meant to be at war with each other, so if they see each other, they'll just like start shooting at each other. But that only really happens on like harder difficulties. We're playing on easy, so you don't really get to see that. And then we just pick up the time crystal, and then the time portal is literally just like round the corner. And it's as simple as that. So, now for what I would consider to be probably the most interesting level in the run, Neo Tokyo. It's actually set in 2019, funnily enough. So it's now, for the first time ever, set in the past instead of set in the future, which I find quite interesting. It means there's only now 3 levels in the whole game which are set in the future, as opposed to 7 in the past. But basically, like, what you have to do is you have to follow this, like, hacker woman without getting caught and, like, tail her back to her base. And it's, like, really high intensity and stressful. And, I don't know, like, I really hope that, like, everything works out fine, because I'm very, very, like, concerned that something bad might happen here. And, like, yeah, so she's going to turn up, like, around the corner in any second, and I'm going to need to follow her, like, immediately. Any second now. Any second now should be here. Any second. Come on. Oh, this is awkward. Nez, do we have any donations to, like, stem this, like, awkwardness? Or did you read the only one we had?
I read the only one we have.
All right, plug, go.
Uh, 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 yeah. So we have a name incentive for Phantom Hourglass. The first place is just any special character that Shasta feels like at the moment, with $8, and then Epic Bunny is in second with $1. So if you want to just put anything on there, go ahead, because probably we'll just be tied for last place if anything, or you can snipe first place, which is probably not that hard. How much more time do I have?
I mean, she should be here by now. I'm like kind of miffed, to be honest, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Like, I reckon you have time for maybe like one or two more, maybe.
Okay, so later today, Shasta's also going to be doing Wario Land 4, and there's an incentive for that to play the Wario Hot minigame, as well as for Spyro 2, the closer of the marathon, to turn on the in-game music, because the OST kind of bops.
Come on, any second now. Any second. Oh, there she is. Okay, she's here. She made it. All right, we're all right. Okay, she's only like 2 minutes late. It's fine. Okay, so we have to follow her back into her base. Technically, there's like a bunch of objectives here you don't necessarily like need to do, but the reason that you have to do them is because like you can only beat a level if you complete all the objectives, but like you can recover the time crystal without doing some of the objectives, if that makes sense. So here there's a soft lock that's possible. I didn't do it, so that's like really good. Basically, it's to do with like the state of movement that you're in. I've explained it a lot of times, and I can't really do it in 5 seconds. But yeah, you basically fall out of the radius. So here we have to see the password of this hacker here. We don't actually need it because the door it opens stays open if we just do this. And then we have to go and deactivate this this machine where this time splitter, they're like doing experiments on him. And then this woman here has the time crystal, so we just shoot her once and she starts running away. And then you just punch her a few times and she's dead. Okay, we got a couple of back boosts and damage boosts there, which they probably negated each other. Maybe I lost like a tiny bit of time. It should be fine though. Now here at the end of this tunnel is like probably one of the harder bits to get through, because they'll back boost you a lot, and it's also really hard to like hit them in the head. But I did manage to do it without losing any time, so that's pretty good. Then there's a couple more people up here who I just want to get past quickly. This one might damage boost me, perfect. Yeah, and then that's Neo Tokyo. So I figure I should probably clarify that the whole hacker drama that happened at the beginning, that was like scripted. Like, she always takes that long. It's not this run exclusive. I know like quite a few people do cool things while they're waiting around for her to turn up. I remember during ESA one year, a runner called Pontus, he actually like went and just took a vape break in the middle of the run because he knew he had 2 minutes. Kopitz and I can't remember his Sudesu, I think his buddy's called. They just like disappeared during their GDQ run, and it was pretty funny. So this is Wild West. Usually you'd walk behind this jail and blow it up like by using gunpowder and stuff, but you can just shoot it from here and it's fairly straightforward. And then you have to rescue the woman in this barn up here. I'm notoriously really bad at this, so I'm just gonna take it easy. That was fairly straightforward. Yeah, he did like the Vape Nation sign and everything. It was sick. So we need these double pistols. They're really useful for a quick kill that's coming up. Then we push this minecart because it opens up the mine shaft. Basically, we want to kill all the people around here. Why do I feel like the Colonel is not spawned? This happened to me before. Oh my god, you're kidding me. I don't know why this keeps happening, but it's so stupid. Like, I don't know what causes it, but for some reason the boss here just won't spawn. So I've lost like 20-30 seconds now. And the way you fix it is just by going here and then he just turns up. But you can't actually damage him until like a certain period of time. So I'm just going to follow him. Okay. As soon as he rings that, you can do that, and then you can just kill him. Oh man, that's like so cringe. Okay, that's done. Yeah, I lost like 20 to 30 seconds. I don't know why that, like, that's the second time that's happened to me recently, and I've never had it happen before, so I don't know why the game just picked today that the Colonel just wasn't going to spawn, but maybe it's got something to do with, like, my position or something. But yeah, Wild West is still, like, by far the shortest level in the whole run, coming straight after the longest level in the whole run. This is Atom Smasher. It's like a James Bond homage type level, with like a classic, like, really eccentric bad guy that you fight at the end. First thing you want to do is turn off those cameras so you don't get spotted, because you start without guns, so you need to pick one up, and the way you do that is by stealth taking down this guy in front of me. And then you want to kill this guy, but be careful not to shoot the scientist, because they've got to take care of the bomb for you. That one's fairly easy to kill. Then we have to do this room in a very specific way, where we want to headshot this first guy, like so. But then this second guy coming up, you actually don't want to headshot him, because if you shoot him once, it alerts the others, and then that makes them easier to kill. Except this one, because I can't aim. Then this is fairly straightforward, it's just killing your way through waves of enemies. Now time for probably like the biggest run killer for me, is the speed at which these fires extinguish is greatly variable. I'm not sure what it's based on, and I'm not sure like what determines why sometimes it's like really quick and other times it's just like painfully slow. Here we have to get some body armor for a strat. And then we just have to duel our way through this hallway as usual. Reload there, because it's quick. Kill all of them, and then usually you have to turn off the steam that's spraying all around this room, because it does a lot of damage to you. What? I might be dead. So this magnet is kind of glitchy and sometimes doesn't always pick up that bomb. Let me out! Okay, I'm so dead. There's like no way I'm surviving here. So here I need to be like super careful to make sure I don't get hit by the fire. I'm also going to be kind of careful in the next room to make sure I don't get hit by a sniper, because if I do, I'm going to die. I'm like one hit away from death right now. No! Oh, that's so annoying. This run was actually going, apart from that Wild West, like with the glitchy thing, this run was going really well. So now we have to do the whole level again, but hopefully that won't happen twice. Yeah, so that glitchy magnet thing really screwed me over. I would have been absolutely fine if it wasn't for that. But yeah, that's probably like a minute and a half, 2 minutes of time loss, something like that. Not really sure. Which is kind of sad, but like, you know, what can you actually do about it? Like, I could have done exactly the same thing, and it could have been fine. It was all down to the magnet. I've actually been killed by the door leaving that steamy room one time. Which was like kind of funny, but also like kind of what the hell. I don't suppose we have any like donations or anything you could plug at the moment, Nez, because like I'm just doing everything again.
Yeah, there really isn't too much other than just reiterating that, yeah, some of the bid wars, they may not be close, but can still influence the turnout for some of them. And some of these just regular incentives are getting really close to getting that.
Make sure you guys get your donations in to be epic gamers today. Extremely PogChamp to donate to COVID-19 relief. Okay, first try, come on. Okay, good. I took it a bit easy there. Also, fun fact, you know I was talking about those new controllers? Yeah, that room, the vibrations are incredibly heavy on this new controller. Okay, I might be in trouble again. The sniper up there is dead. Cool, I was just checking. Hopefully this is okay. I really don't want to have to do this all again. Like, that's when we start getting into the territory of maybe I'll be going over estimate. It should still be fine. I think right now I'm on course for like a 36 or a 37. Before it would have been like 33, 34 territory. But it should be fine. So we made it through. We're absolutely fine. There's some body armor we can pick up in this room, and there's no more enemies to fight, so we're fine. He's going to defuse the last bomb here, which is going to cause the whole place to blow up. Well, no. They would have caused the whole place to blow up if they didn't do it. A few more guys to kill here. Everything's fine. So we want to hug like the left side of all these railings, because usually he spawns further forward. Sometimes he can spawn like as far back at the end of that gangway there, and that's really slow because you have to go and pick up the time crystal from him, which is just like super slow. Yeah, that costs like 10 seconds if he does that, so I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because I already lost enough time there. Next up is Aztec. Aztec is fairly straightforward, although it's got like the only like major RNG time loss potential. When I say major, this game is so optimized that a major time loss is like 5 seconds. Like my PB in this game is within 13 seconds of my summer best, to give you an idea of how optimized this game is. If you like monkeys, I would advise you to look away now because I kill like a lot of them. So the first thing we want to do here is we want to just navigate this sort of like maze type thing and try and kill as many of these like villages as we can, and attempt to pick up a crossbow from one of them, because crossbows are one-shot kills, whereas this pistol takes 2. Like, they're even one-shot kills to the body, which is incredibly useful. Okay, he's usually the safest one. I'd usually try and kill the one that I missed killing before him, but yeah, like I said, I missed the shot. It's kind of a very like awkward headshot to hit, but it makes you feel like a baller when you do hit it. So that opens the door to the Lost Temple, so we kind of have to open that. Then there's going to be a guy at the end of this one who always back boosts me, so he didn't do that time, so I'm a liar. Then there's going to be another one here, he back boosts me, one here, and then there should be one more around this corner here. I didn't get the pre-fire on him, unfortunately, but that's fine. So now we're in the Lost Temple. There's going to be a guy I want to kill here, and then down here there's a mechanism to open the door over here. Oh look, it's the time crystal. Just kidding, it's gone. You know, I was going to joke about getting a phone call during Yo Tokyo. That was going to be like my joke. Now I'm actually getting a phone call, and I'm just not going to answer. So sorry if you can hear the vibration of the caller from London, England, but yeah, not much I can do. So this is the RNG time loss. You need to lure these golems into the pits in the floor to kill them, but sometimes they will just slam their fists on the ground, and it costs like 4 seconds every time they do it. So yeah, small time loss there, not a big deal. Alright, so we've got 2 more levels. We've got Robot Factory, which is the one of the longer ones, and then Space Station, which is like an average length, I'd say. Robot Factory is like fairly straightforward, I'd say. It's like you just kind of have to go through, complete all the objectives. I wouldn't say it deviates too much from like what you'd expect in like a casual playthrough, but like it's still really hard to do quickly. So first thing we need to do here is go left to open the bridge. We want to kill as many of these guys because we need to backtrack, and they are going to get in our way if we don't do that. Just walk straight through this wall. It's easy. And then we're going to kill as many of these guys as we can. Cool. We got through them without a hassle. Sometimes I like to go around the outside just because it's safer, but that time I was like, YOLO. I've already lost 2 minutes, so I might as well just go for it. The next thing we have to do is we have to go and collect a weapon, which if you've ever played this game, you'll be very familiar with. It's called the Electro Tool, and it blasts enemies with electricity, but in this level it's also used to overload 4 energy nodes. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind overloading the energy nodes actually is. I don't know if it's ever explained, but it's required to beat the stage and go and fight the boss. The boss, by the way, who was made super easy by a strat that was discovered a few years back. So this is the first of the 4 energy nodes. I got the Electro Tool. I'm using it to overload the node, and then I just need to kill like as many of these guys as I can, because this laser wall only opens when you kill the 4 that spawn in that room. Here's node number 2. This one's like one of the easier ones, I'd say. Just because there's not really anyone shooting at you usually during that period of time. Just gonna shoot out the security cameras on the rail because they like to shoot you sometimes. And then in this next room, there's gonna be 4 enemies spawning, and we have to kill all of them, or otherwise they're gonna make overloading the next node really hard. Okay, that's all sorted. Then we need to move the energy node, switch back to the Electro Tool, activate the crane. That's going to carry this node towards us, but it also like turns off a force field that's protecting it. The force field on the one above despawns. I like to kill that enemy first, just so he doesn't like push me around while I'm trying to overload this one up here. And then what we need to do is we need to collect the laser gun and kill enemies in a specific pattern. So it goes the one to the left, the one forward, and then the one right, then left, right, left, right, left, forward, right. I don't really think that made much sense how I like described that, but you get the general gist. It's basically like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In other words. So now we switch to the sci-fi handgun, which is a weapon we don't use at any other point during this level. And the reason we do that is because its bullets ricochet, and it does like a crap load of ricochet damage to the boss if you shoot it like in that particular pit, because it ricochets all about like beneath it. So like each bullet that you fire hits it like 3 or 4 times, and it just does so much damage that it's really good. That was discovered I think in 2016 or 17, I'm not quite sure. But then we just go up there, get the time crystal, and we're out. And it's as easy as that. And finally, we're coming up to Space Station. So now we've collected the 9 time crystals that I mentioned earlier. All we have to do, the Space Station, which we're based in, which is the backdrop for the main menu as well, you just have to escape. And it's as simple as that. You have to set the spaceship to self-destruct, destroy a bunch of ships which are going to chase you if you like don't shoot them down when you go to escape, and then just go. So you grab the crystals, and then there's 3 consoles you have to activate here to cause the space station to self-destruct. So I walk deliberately like right up against that door there because it starts to open as soon as you go near it. And what that means is that it's already open when I come back up there. So usually you'd have to wait for this elevator, but that's really slow, so we just jump straight down the shaft and take a crap load of damage, but it's fine. I've only died once on PB pace on this level, and that was very sad. So I'm not going to take any risks. Sometimes you'd like to keep some of these enemies alive because they can damage boost you, but I'm just like, I don't want to die here because it's such a big time loss if you do. Sometimes there's an enemy that spawns in this airlock. There we go. I hope you like this noise. So usually you need a spacesuit to go out here, but it's really slow to go and collect that, and you don't actually need it to survive. So we just go without it. And then these are the ships I mentioned that we have to shoot down. Sometimes enemies will spawn that you have to kill as well. This is fairly straightforward. You're just killing all of them. I believe actually there used to be an !RealmCopier command on Nightbot. I don't think it exists anymore. But the first time I ever did this run for this event, I was playing completely without game audio because that's when I discovered that I had an issue with my capture card that meant I couldn't capture audio, which I fixed like 40 minutes ago, by the way, for the first time in 5 years. But yeah, I didn't have any audio because that's when I just discovered the issue, so I couldn't do like anything about the lack of audio. So I played completely without game audio or anything, and I made all of Cortez's grunting noises like by my own mouth. Yeah, I'd like to clarify, I was 14 at the time, so I feel like it's slightly more acceptable than if I did it today. But yeah, that was a command that existed for a very long time. I don't know what you wanted me to say, man. By my own vocal cords? Like, leave me alone. It's early, I didn't get much sleep last night, and I'm playing TimeSplitters for the 7th time for you guys. You feel like it'd be just it might actually be even more funny and less cringe, because I'm an adult male making, like, video game noises. Oh yeah, I forgot that you could do this. If you stand on the edge of this elevator, you can clip out of the space station. The reason we stand on top of here is because it saves like 10 seconds when you get off the elevator. You can jump slightly before it hits the ground. That was discovered by a guy called Mr. Jerky Jerky, who I think is in chat right now. Very, very influential on some of the strats in this run. Oh, this is time, by the way. Time. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, that was a 3705.
3705. Given what happened in Atom Smasher, that would have been like a low 34 without that, I reckon. I'm gonna check what the IGT was, and then I'm gonna subtract like 230 and say that whatever that is what my run would have been without that kerfuffle in Atom Smasher. But yeah, that was like, all things considered, like a fairly good time for a run where something like that happened. I think, yeah, that probably would have been like a good time. My PB in real time is a 33.16, so to get like a 34 is fairly good. Let's see. 30.51 minus 230 would have been like a 28.21. That's like a minute 10 behind my IGT PB. So I'm gonna say it's like a fairly good run. Just a shame about what happened in Atom Smasher, but it was unavoidable. It was just a bit of a glitch. Not much that could have been done, unfortunately. Either way, that's gonna be it for me. Make sure you watch like all the other runs, because we've got like a billion runs still to go, and they're all really good. And I'm gonna be hosting like 8 of them coming up. So I'm not going anywhere, but I am just gonna like take 5 before we go straight into hosting. But yeah, make sure you stick around and watch what's coming up next. I believe we've got, is it pronounced Hinedere Beat by Cosmic the Dolphin?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie.
But like, I'm really looking forward to that because Cosmic is a legend who I hear no longer has a moustache, which is very sad. But either way, he's such a cool dude, and you should definitely stick around and watch that and everything else that is coming up afterwards. I'm going to be hosting like all of it. It's going to be great, and we're going to make hella money.